By the time most men notice, it's already too late. When a woman starts falling for another man, it doesn't begin with her body. It begins with her energy. And most men miss it because it's quiet at first. Subtle. Wrapped in excuses, busyness, or mood swings. But make no mistake, the emotional shift always comes before the betrayal. I've counseled enough couples to tell you this. By the time she's texting someone secretly or staying late at work, her heart has already started walking away. So, if you're a man who values clarity, who doesn't want to be blindsided, listen closely. These early signs won't come with fireworks or arguments. They come with calm, with small changes that feel off, but not enough to accuse her of anything. And that's exactly what makes them dangerous. 1. Her emotional availability shrinks, but her energy feels busy. There's a strange paradox when a woman's attention starts drifting. She's less emotionally present with you, shorter responses, less curiosity about your day, yet you can feel her mind racing somewhere else. She's suddenly tired, overwhelmed, or just not in the mood. But if you look closer, she's still animated, just not with you. She laughs easily at her phone. She's more expressive in conversations that don't involve you. Her spirit is alive, just not in your direction. That's emotional redirection. It's the earliest phase of falling for someone new, when her excitement transfers subconsciously from your connection to something else that's feeding her emotionally. Keep watching for that. It's not about her words, it's about her spar. 2. Her routine changes quietly. When attraction begins brewing in her mind, her schedule starts to shift, subtly. She may start working out more, changing her hair, caring more about her appearance for herself. But timing matters. Why now? What changed? In my sessions, men often tell me, she started dressing differently, but I thought she was just gaining confidence. And yes, sometimes that's true. But when the self-improvement is paired with secrecy, or when she becomes defensive about simple questions, there's usually another source of motivation. When a woman is emotionally stimulated by someone else, she starts to re-identify herself. She becomes more image-aware. She changes playlists, perfumes, and routines, all while insisting nothing's wrong. 3. She's emotionally comparing you, without admitting it. This one's invisible, but powerful. When she starts falling for someone else, she begins comparing, not out loud, but internally. You'll feel it in her tone. Suddenly, your usual flaws bother her more. The things she used to overlook now disappoint her. She becomes more critical, less patient, and oddly detached. That's because in her mind, there's a silent benchmark forming, and it's based on the emotional experience she's getting elsewhere. When a woman starts emotionally idealizing another man, even if she hasn't done anything physical yet, the comparison alone is enough to poison intimacy. It's not that she hates you. It's that her heart is starting to invest its energy in another storyline. 4. She's guarding her digital world. Her phone becomes her bubble. She changes how she holds it. She turns screens away casually, adds new passwords, or becomes irritated when you ask who she's texting. Now, not every private phone means cheating, but it's the pattern that matters. If she used to be open, and suddenly her phone becomes an extension of her privacy, it's a shift worth paying attention to. Because emotional connections start online more often than in person now, through chats, DMs, or old friends checking in. And once she starts protecting that space, she's protecting the new connection that lives inside it. You see, none of these signs scream betrayal. They whisper it. They come dressed as self-growth, stress, or you're overthinking. But men who learn to sense energy before evidence stay ahead of heartbreak. Because the truth is, once emotional loyalty leaves, the physical part is just a matter of time. If this is already hitting close to home, pause before reacting. Don't accuse. Observe. Your awareness is your armor. And if this message is making something click for you, that means you're already becoming the kind of man who doesn't ignore what his gut knows. If you're finding clarity here, hit the like button. It helps this message reach other men who need it too. Keep watching because in part 2, I'll show you how her behavior begins to change, from communication to physical presence, and what those subtle changes really mean. You can always feel when a woman's body is present, but her spirit isn't. That's where the real danger begins, when the physical closeness remains, but the connection starts thinning out. It's not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes, it's just a quiet distance that sneaks into your daily rhythm, and before you realize it, you've gone from being her emotional home to her familiar roommate. 1. She starts creating emotional space, without moving out. When she begins falling for someone else, she doesn't always leave right away. Women rarely cut off stability before they're sure of what's next. So instead of leaving, she stays, but emotionally withdraws. You'll notice she's busy more often, not just with work or errands, but with vague, unexplainable tasks. Her availability changes. She might be right beside you, but her responses carry no warmth. Her eyes look through you, not at you. When a woman's energy is emotionally tied elsewhere, she starts rationing her intimacy with you not out of punishment, but because her emotional tank is being spent on someone else. That's why, even when you try to reconnect, something feels off, like her love is on autopilot. 2. She communicates less, and when she does, it feels surface level. Pay attention to the texture of her communication. Before, she might have shared everything, her fears, her wins, her gossip, her dreams. But when she starts falling for someone else, that vulnerability transfers. You'll still talk, but it'll sound like a highlight reel, nothing deep, nothing raw. If you ask, "How was your day?" she says, "Fine." If you press deeper, she gets irritated. That defensiveness isn't about you being annoying. It's about protecting a new emotional territory she doesn't want you to enter. And here's the cruel truth. Sometimes she's still talking deeply, just not to you. 3. Her reactions to you change. Small frustrations become emotional distance. When a woman's heart starts shifting, she loses patience for the things she used to find endearing. Your quirks now irritate her. Your voice, your routine, even your presence might feel like a burden. This isn't always conscious. It's emotional displacement. She's subconsciously trying to justify her new attachment by focusing on what's wrong with you. If you've ever felt like you suddenly can't do anything right, even though you haven't changed, that's a powerful indicator her emotions are being rewritten elsewhere. 4. Subtle changes in physical intimacy. This one is hard to accept, but vital to see. Her affection patterns shift. Maybe she still hugs, still kisses, still says, "I love you." But it feels mechanical. Her body is there, but her energy is distant. There's less eye contact, less warmth, and less genuine desire to initiate closeness. Sometimes, she'll even overcompensate, becoming extra affectionate or flirtatious out of guilt. But it doesn't last. The emotional truth always shows through small inconsistencies, quick retreats, shorter touches, less connection afterward. If you ever find yourself wondering, did that kiss feel different? It probably did. 5. She becomes selectively defensive. When women start emotionally connecting with someone new, they often develop selective defensiveness. They'll argue about random things but go silent or angry when you touch a certain topic. It's not the topic itself. It's what that topic represents. Ask where she's been, and she suddenly flips the script. "Why are you so insecure?" Mention another man, and she says, "You're paranoid." These are emotional shields, ways to protect a growing attachment she hasn't acknowledged yet, even to herself. The sad reality is, by the time these behavioral signs show up, the emotional door has already cracked open. But awareness is power. This is where most men react with anger, confrontation, accusations, withdrawal, which often pushes her further away. But the smart man uses this phase differently. He observes without reacting. He stays composed, grounded, and emotionally intelligent. Because when you stay calm in confusion, her mind starts questioning itself, and that's how you regain your power. If this is opening your eyes to something you felt but couldn't name, take a second, like this video, and follow the real Ask Jane. There are thousands of men quietly fighting this same confusion, and one insight could save their relationship or their sanity. Keep watching. Here's the part most men never see coming: admiration. By the time she reaches this stage, she's not just emotionally distracted. She's emotionally attached. She started to idealize him, the way he talks, listens, or makes her feel seen. And in that admiration, her energy shifts from curiosity to craving. You'll notice it. You just might not recognize what you're seeing. 1. Her tone softens when she mentions someone new. Maybe it's a coworker, a gym instructor, a family friend. She mentions him casually. Too casually, but her energy gives it away. Her eyes light up, her tone gets lighter, and there's that faint smile of unconscious admiration. She'll defend him even when you make harmless jokes. She'll talk about his great sense of humor or how he's so driven. These are not random compliments. They're emotional fingerprints of attachment forming. And if you catch her repeating his ideas, phrases, or even jokes, that's not coincidence. That's emotional imprinting. 2. She starts comparing your masculinity subtly. She might say things like, "He's really confident," or "He handles things calmly." She's not trying to insult you. She's revealing what her emotional compass is currently drawn toward. It's not about the man himself. It's about how she feels when she's around him. That emotional safety, that spark, that's what's pulling her in. But here's your wake-up call, my friend. This is where you either spiral or evolve. 3. Don't chase. Recenter yourself. You can't outlove a woman who's emotionally drifting. You can only reclaim your energy. The more you beg for her attention, the more her mind confirms the fantasy that she's outgrown you. But when you ground yourself, emotionally, physically, and mentally, something shifts. Women are deeply intuitive. When a man stops reacting in fear and starts moving with quiet confidence, her emotional narrative begins to rewrite itself. So instead of confrontation, choose calibration. Rebuild your focus. Take care of your body, your finances, your space. Speak less, observe more. Show, don't tell, that you're not dependent on her validation. Because nothing pulls a woman back into awareness faster than a man who stops chasing and starts centering. Let's be clear, this isn't about revenge or manipulation. It's about reclaiming your peace before her confusion breaks your confidence. If she's meant for you, your calm strength will remind her of what she's losing. If she's not, your self-respect will make her exit irrelevant. Either way, you win by staying grounded. If this spoke to something deep inside you, take a second, like this video, follow the real Ask Jane, and share it with another man who needs this clarity today. Because being ahead of the game isn't about controlling women. It's about mastering your awareness, your energy, and your peace. And that, my friend, is how you never get blindsided again.